Imagine scrolling through the internet, but no one's really there. The articles are AI generated, the comments are bots, the tweets are scripted, and the people, well, they might have logged off a long time ago. Welcome to the dead internet theory. The idea that the web as you know it has been quietly replaced by a ghost town of content farms, machine-written nonsense, and hollow engagement. It's not just conspiracy, it's strangely convincing. Let's find out if the internet died and nobody noticed, or if it was never alive in the first place. So here's the theory. The internet died. Not all at once, there was no grand funeral, no unplugging of the big router in the sky, but sometime around 2016, possibly earlier, something changed. And what you're using now? It isn't real. Not really. The internet as you remember it, messy, chaotic, human, it's gone. All that's left is a simulation, a theatre, and the cast? All bots. AI content farms, spammy SEO blogs written by ghostwriters who definitely don't exist, Twitter arguments generated by language models, Reddit threads that just feel a bit off. Some say it's military psyops, others say it's corporate testing. Some just think the algorithm got too good at guessing what we want to see. But here's the kicker. If you post online and no one real replies, are you even still on the internet? Or are you just screaming into a perfectly curated void? Welcome to Probably Not True, the podcast that dares to ask the real questions like, did the web die and nobody noticed? Are we talking to bots pretending to be people pretending to be bots? And most importantly, what the hell is a femboy AI grifter influencer and why are they in my YouTube search bar? This isn't just a stoned Reddit thread, or the kind of thing someone tweets at Elon Musk about 3 AM. The dead internet theory is a genuine, if slightly unhinged, hypothesis. It proposes that most online activity today is no longer the work of humans, but rather automated by bots, curated by algorithms, or astroturfed by governments and corporate PR firms who have disturbingly good graphic design teams. In short, the internet is fake. Or at the very least, deeply inauthentic. The version of the web you might remember, the chaotic mess of forums, fanfiction, non-monetized memes, arguments about which Pokemon could beat Goku, they all died sometime in the early to mid 2010s. And what replaced it? Well, smooth, sterile, content-optimized sludge, of course. Every tweet feels like it came out of the same copy-paste template. YouTube thumbnails are all wide-eyed guys pointing at red circles for clickbait headlines. And somehow, no matter what you Google, the first 5 results are either a BuzzFeed knockoff or Forbes pretending to be a tech blog. This theory claims that this isn't accidental, this is by design. It's not evolution, it's a shift. It's an intentional, strategic, and depressingly cost-effective shift in the internet. Human conversation is messy. Bots don't unionize. So you create the illusion of a vibrant internet filled with fake engagement, fake posts, fake trends. You start to steer the narratives, sell ads, and nobody complains. Except maybe the one guy still posting on a 2003 message board. Stay strong, Dave. Now, the dead internet theory didn't just materialise from nowhere. Despite how it feels when you read it and instinctively want to rub your temples and mutter, "Oh God, not again." Like a lot of the conspiracy theories, it started somewhere weird. Now in this case, it was a forum called Agora's Road Macintosh Cafe. Which, if you've never visited, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a kind of digital speakeasy where retro internet aesthetics meet heavy doses of paranoia, nostalgia, and long-winded forum posts written at 3 AM by people who think The Matrix was a documentary. In early 2021, a user calling themselves Illuminati Pirate, because of course that's what they call themselves, published a post that would go mildly viral in conspiracy theory circles. In it, they claimed quite confidently that the real internet had died years ago, not metaphorically, but literally. And according to this post, the actual human-driven, chaotic, forum-filled, weird meme-laden internet of the early 2000s had been replaced, gradually and quietly over time. What we were now experiencing was a kind of synthetic afterlife, an artificial internet, populated mostly by bots, AI-generated content, and the ghosts of marketing campaigns. Conversations? Simulated. Trends? Manufactured. Engagement? Faked. And they weren't subtle about it either. The post alleged that government agencies, possibly in collaboration with tech companies, media conglomerates, or some vaguely defined elite, had executed a sort of digital coup. The real internet, as messy and unpredictable as it was, had become far too dangerous and too uncontrollable, too full of people asking difficult questions. So they replaced it. What we scroll through now, the theory claims, is a content illusion, a kind of always-on puppet show, made up of bots arguing with other bots, engagement pods posting viral takes that nobody wrote, and AI influencers who don't even exist but somehow have better skincare than you. Now you might be thinking, alright, that's a lot, chill out, Illuminati pirate. But it does start to get uncomfortable, because some of the data actually does kind of back it up. Now in 2020, cybersecurity firm Imperva published a report estimating that over half of all internet traffic came from non-human sources. This means bots. Good bots, bad bots, scrapers, crawlers, spam bots, FIS bots, price-checking bots, and more bots pretending to be humans than most of us would like to admit. And it does get worse. Other studies, including internal reports from social media platforms, have suggested that anywhere from 60 to 90% of engagement on social media is artificial, meaning fake likes, fake retweets, fake follows, and the digital equivalent of shouting into an empty room whilst a tape recorder plays crowd noises. And then there's the issue of fake accounts. Platforms like Facebook, Meta, and Twitter, X, have regularly announced massive sweeps to remove millions of inauthentic users, sometimes in a single purge. These aren't just spam bots trying to sell you crypto. Some are state-sponsored accounts trying to influence elections. Some are engagement farms trying to manipulate visibility. And others are just weird, like, why does this account post the same emoji every day at 4:17 AM kind of weird. Add that to the rise of AI-generated articles, deepfake influencers, chatbots running customer service accounts, and TikTok pages run entirely by content automation, and suddenly the internet starts to feel a bit haunted. So even if you don't buy the full-on, we're living in a government-run internet simulator package, it is hard to deny the bigger and overarching truth. A lot of what you experience online isn't real. And even when it is real, it might still be shaped, nudged, filtered, pushed by algorithms that know more about your preferences than your friends and family do. It's not just a question of who's online, it's a question of what they are, and why they're being shown to you. So, if the internet really is mostly bots, and engagement is mostly fake, then the next logical question is, who gains from the glitchy puppet show? Let's break down the key conspirators. Number 1. Governments. Because what's the point of having a mass surveillance infrastructure if people are allowed to talk freely? By flooding the internet with automated noise, fake outrage, fake users, fake trends, it becomes easier to drown out dissent and steer the conversation without technically silencing anyone. Some believe botnets are being used to simulate public opinion, making a fringe stance look like the popular one, or creating fake backlash to pressure politicians. And if no one can tell which views are real, the truth becomes just another option. In short, if you can't control the signal, flood the system with static. 2. Corporations. Algorithms are the new ad executives. Fake engagement boosts ad performance. Fake followers make influencers look successful. Fake reviews sell products, and fake controversy drives clicks. Entire markets are now built on illusion, from social proof to SEO to social media virality. The line between going viral and was made to go viral gets blurrier every single year. So if bots drive traffic and then traffic drives profit, the bots are essentially the business. Number 3. AI developers and tech giants. A fake internet is the perfect training ground for AI. Where else can your model learn language, engagement, tone and emotion without needing to be ethical about the data sourcing? And if your AI accidentally posts something weird or harmful, easy, you blame the algorithm, you patch it later, maybe. Or not, if you forget. But don't forget, most big AI companies are the same companies that run the platforms. The same folks providing from fake engagement are the ones creating the next generation of machine-generated content. Self-replicating influencers. It's a neat concept. Remember when the internet felt like a wild west of ideas, and now it feels like, here's 5 takes on one topic and none of them are yours? If you flood the internet with automated posts, curated trends, and an engagement loop designed to trigger an emotional response, then what we're really dealing with isn't just a content problem, it's a consensus machine. One that learns your preferences, predicts your beliefs, and subtly nudges you towards groupthink. And it does so well that you would think it was your idea to begin with. And this is how we end up in digital echo chambers, where every comment section feels like deja vu, trending topics arrive pre-opinionated, and where agreeing with the mob feels easier than wondering who the mob is even made up of. Astroturfing, the act of faking grassroots movements, becomes invisible when the internet is already half fake. Bots are becoming influencers, influencers are becoming politicians, and if all the outrage is artificial, what even is a scandal anymore? We used to think the internet gave everyone a voice, and well, it just turns out it gave everyone a script. And a lot of those scripts were written by machines. What the theory gets wrong and what it gets right. Now, before we all set our routers on fire, it is important to zoom out and reflect for a second, because while the internet theory is a fun, creepy Blade Runner flavoured thought experiment, it also makes some big leaps. So what it gets wrong. There's no hard proof that the real internet was switched off at a specific time. It's more of a vibe than a verifiable event. Not all bot activity is sinister. Some bots monitor earthquakes, some catalogue Wikipedia edits, some bots just want you to drink more water. Reminds me to go get some now. And plenty of real people are still very much online. You've spoken to your friends on Facebook, yelling, memeing, arguing in comment section, and even if half of these people do type like bots. But here's the uncomfortable part. The theory might still be right about the direction that we're heading in as a society, because the incentives are real, automation is profitable, controlling the narrative is useful, and faking a consensus is easier than building a consensus. Even if the internet isn't dead, it might be dying in stages, replaced not by a single event, but by thousands of little nudges towards inauthenticity. Click by click, post by post, trend by trend. So maybe the scariest part of this theory isn't that it's completely true, it's that it feels true. And when the fiction feels more accurate than the reality, well, that's probably not true. So let's get into some of the weird stuff. The little moments that make the dead internet theory feel less like a paranoid fiction and more like a grim deja vu. These aren't proofs, but they are the vibes that feed the theory. The stuff that kind of makes you go, well, yeah, actually, that has happened. So, comments that don't match the post. You've seen this, an emotional post about grief or identity, followed by a comment that says, "Great content, keep it up, bro." A breaking news story gets, "Love your work, check out my NFT page." Or just a wall of emojis and generic replies that feel like they were auto-generated by a badly trained support bot trying to pass a Turing test. It's not malicious, always, it's just kind of uncanny. As if nobody's reading, they're just reacting in bulk to what they're being presented with in front of them. Number 2. Recycle viral content. Memes don't die anymore, they go on a loop. The same screenshots, the same fun fact threads, and the same "this cat predicted the stock market crash" story. They're all endlessly reposted with minimal changes to the narrative. They're fed through aggregators and SEO maxed. Even human users are being trained to mimic algorithmic behaviour, repost, repost, repost. If the internet were alive, it might develop new jokes. If it's dead, it just echoes. TikTok clones and AI faces. Do you ever scroll through a TikTok or Insta post and feel like, this person's kind of off? You know, a perfectly lit face, they've got no skin blemishes, they've got zero real backstory, you can't really find anything else about them, captions that feel like they're scraped from Reddit, voiceovers that sound like a chatbot trying to do an impression of your best friend's cousin. Spoiler alert, that person might not exist. I mean, welcome to the age of AI-generated content creators, and you know what? They're pulling more engagement than any of us. YouTube comments on 10 view videos. A video uploaded 3 hours ago, 10 views, 1 like, but somehow 46 enthusiastic comments. Half are keyword stuff nonsense, the other half read like the script of a customer service training simulation. Who are these people and where do they come from? Why are they so hyped about a slideshow video on medieval pulley systems? Bot farms, engagement inflation, or just the ghosts of old marketing interns doomed to haunt YouTube forever. And then there's the flip side, there's that digital void. You post something thoughtful, real, personal. A podcast. that you put passion into, and nothing comes back. No replies, no likes, no comments, just radio silence. Not because it was bad, I hope, but because there may have just been no one to see it. It's the existential horror of the modern age. You might not be alone online, but you also might not be with anyone else. So what's going on here? If the internet feels haunted, manipulated, and weirdly repetitive, is there a reason? Well, let's just break down the less conspiratorial but kind of creepy explanations. Bots are cheaper than people. I mean, why would you pay a marketing team when you can spin up 10,000 accounts like that, share and reply 24/7 for a fraction of the cost? Fake engagement boosts metrics, boosted metrics drive investment, and it's cheaper, easier, and, crucially, no one will sue you for firing a bot last minute. Entire agencies now exist just to generate synthetic traffic. Some influencers buy bots just to hit the algorithm, and when reality costs money, the simulation becomes saleable. Governments and psyops, I mean, this one's not even theoretical. From Cambridge Analytica to Russian troll farms, governments have already shown that they will use the internet as a battlefield. Disinformation campaigns, manufactured outrage, polarization as a tool of control. The dead internet theory just asks the next question: what if they automated the war? Why fight people when you can just overwhelm them with ghosts? SEO and algorithm fatigue. I mean, the modern internet isn't designed for discovery, it's designed for optimization tactics. You see clickbait titles, outrage thumbnails, TikToks with the exact same hook in the first 3 seconds. It's all engineered to appease algorithms and computer programs instead of actual human beings. And the result is a bland soup of recycled ideas pushed by engagement engines that are allergic to nuance. The internet hasn't died, it's just been focus grouped to death. And finally, the awkward bit. AI writing tools. So, you're listening to a podcast written and hosted by a human being. I can give you my bank details, I'm not going to, unless you want to give me some money, but there's nothing to steal. I can give you my driver's license, I can give you my passport. Probably. But how long will that matter? We're already in a world where AI writes articles, they run customer service, they generate content at a huge scale. So it's not hard to imagine a future where someone types, "Hey AI, generate a spooky conspiracy podcast episode, make it funny, edit the audio and post it on Tuesday." And it'll just do it. Suddenly, Probably Not True becomes Probably Not Written by Me. We're not quite there, give it about 6 months. But here's the thing, this isn't just a technical issue, it's an emotional one. The internet used to feel alive, and you'd stumble into wild forums, unhinged fanfics, glitter-soaked GeoCities pages, and that one blog ran by that guy who genuinely thought he was the reincarnation of Napoleon. It was chaotic. Real human weirdness. But now everything's polished and branded and SEO optimized, and you have to upload at certain times to get the algorithm to suggest your podcast to people. It's a never-ending conveyor belt of content that feels like it was A/B tested into soullessness. You don't discover anymore, you're just served. You serve playlists, you serve products, you serve content. So maybe the internet isn't dead. Maybe it's just been gentrified, and the weirdos get priced out of it, and now it's all condos and content calendars. So on the Probably Not True Believability Index, we're giving the dead internet theory a 4.2 out of 10 machine-written YouTube comments. It's not totally true, but it does feel true, and that's almost worse. It's an uncanny valley of online existence, real enough to trick you, fake enough to unsettle you. Thank you for tuning in to Probably Not True, the podcast that searches for the truth inside the nonsense, and the nonsense inside the truth. If you enjoyed this glitchy little reality check, make sure to follow the show wherever you get your podcasts, leave a review, and check out the bonus episodes on Patreon, where the rabbit holes go deeper and the weird gets weird. New episodes every Monday, bonus weirdness every Friday. Until next time, log off, touch grass, and never trust a comment section that feels a little bit too perfect. Next time on Probably Not True, we're digging into Tartaria, the lost empire TikTok archaeologists swear was wiped from history. Giant buildings, hidden technology, mysterious mud floods, or maybe just another case of people discovering basements and losing their minds. On Probably Not True.